touch the back of your neck, just below the hairline. Hold your hand there. Your skin is wet. Not soaked, you would have noticed that. But it is never fully dry either. Your whole body is quietly pushing water out through openings too small to see all day, every day, while you sit still and think about nothing. You are leaking on purpose, constantly, and the water evaporating off your skin at this exact moment is cooling the blood underneath it. A few tenths of a degree quietly without asking you. No other large animal on Earth can do what your skin is doing right now. And it is the reason you exist. Human skin carries somewhere between 2 and 4 million eccrine sweat glands, a density no other primate comes close to. And we are naked, almost uniquely, catastrophically naked, for a mammal our size. For a long time this looked like a defect. A fragile, hairless ape with soft skin and no claws, no fangs, no speed. A lion runs at nearly twice your top speed. A gazelle runs faster than that. A deer can leave you standing still. If you were designing a predator, you would not design you. But look again at what all of those animals share. They are covered in fur. And they cool themselves by panting, pushing hot air across a wet tongue. It works. It works beautifully, in fact, right up until the moment they need to run. Because there is a hidden clause in the design of every four-legged runner on this planet. And in 1983, 2 scientists in Utah found it. Dennis Bramble and David Carrier, at the University of Utah, were studying how animals breathe while they move. And they noticed something that sounds trivial and is not. When a horse gallops, its breathing is locked to its stride. One breath, one stride. Not roughly, mechanically. As the front legs land, the gut slams forward into the diaphragm like a piston and forces air out. As the body extends, air rushes back in. The animal is not choosing to breathe. Its own body is pumping its lungs for it, at exactly the rhythm of its legs. They published it in Science in 1983, and the implication is brutal. A galloping quadruped cannot pant, cannot break the rhythm. It cannot take rapid, shallow breaths to dump heat, because its breathing is welded to its footfalls. Which means a horse, a deer, an antelope, every fast animal you have ever admired, is running with its cooling system switched off. Now put your hand back on your neck. You have no fur to trap the heat. Your breathing is not locked to your stride. You can pant and speak and gasp at any rhythm you like, because you run on 2 legs and your ribcage is free. And you have millions of glands pouring water across a bare surface, turning your entire skin into a radiator. You are slow. You are weak. You could not catch a deer if it were standing still and you had a head start. But you do not have to catch it. You only have to refuse to stop. But here is where it gets stranger. In 2004, Dennis Bramble, the same man, published a paper in Nature with Daniel Lieberman of Harvard. They had gone looking through the human body for equipment that only makes sense if you run long distances. And they found it everywhere. The Achilles tendon, a thick spring behind your ankle that stores energy on impact and hands it back on the next step. Chimpanzees essentially do not have one. The nuchal ligament, a band running from the base of your skull down your neck, which keeps your head from whipping around as you pound the ground. Chimpanzees do not have it. Australopithecus lucy did not have it. It appears with the genus Homo. The gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in your body, the one you are sitting on. It barely activates when you walk. It fires hard when you run, catching your torso before it pitches forward with every stride. The arch of your foot, which compresses and rebounds like a bow. None of these are needed for walking. All of them are needed for running long distances in the heat without stopping. And so the picture inverts. The naked, sweating, slow-footed ape was not a badly built predator. It was a different kind of predator entirely. One that hunts with time instead of speed. Here is what the theory says happens next. Out on the hot open grassland, in the middle of the day when every sensible predator is lying in the shade. You do not sprint. You pick one animal and you move toward it at a pace you can hold. It bolts, of course it bolts, it is faster than you, it is gone in seconds. You follow. You read the ground, the bent grass, the tracks, and you keep coming. When you find it again, it has stopped to breathe, and it is not finished breathing, and you are already moving toward it. So it runs again, and it cannot pant while it runs, and its fur holds the heat in. You lose. Again and again you lose the race, and each time you lose it you are sweating, and it is not. The animal does not die of exhaustion. It dies of temperature. It overheats, staggers, and collapses, and a slow, weak, naked ape walks up to it. That machinery is not a story about the past. It is in your ankle, your neck, your backside, and your skin, and it is running right now on this couch, cooling you a fraction of a degree at a time while you do absolutely nothing with it. If you like seeing your own body from the outside like this, subscribing is what keeps these coming. Because there is a problem with this story, and the honest thing to do is to tell you what it is. Almost nobody hunts like this anymore, and that is the crack in the theory. The best documentation we have comes from Louis Liebenberg, who spent years in the Kalahari with hunters who still did it. Between 1985 and 2001, he recorded 10 persistence hunts, chases run in heat near 40 degrees Celsius, lasting from under 2 hours to more than 6, ending with a kudu standing still, unable to move because its body had cooked itself. 5 of the 10 ended in a kill. He published the account in Current Anthropology in 2006. 10 hunts. That is the evidence base. And critics, Travis Pickering and Henry Bunn among them, writing in the Journal of Human Evolution, have pointed at exactly that. Persistence hunting is ethnographically rare. It survives in a few arid places. Early Homo may have lived in wetter, wooded country where it would not work. And you need extraordinary tracking skill to do it, the ability to follow an animal you cannot see, and to imagine where it went. So the debate is open, and it deserves to stay open. But hold the two halves of it together, because that is where the vertigo is. Whether or not your ancestors chased animals to death in the sun, the equipment is in you. The tendon is there. The ligament is there. The glands are there, all 4 million of them, doing their work while you sit still. Something built this body to keep going after everything faster than it had already given up. And the strangest confirmation is not in a fossil at all. Every year in the Welsh town of Llanarted Wells, they run a race between people and horses over roughly 22 miles. The horses usually win. But in 2004 and again in 2007 and in 2022 and 2023 and 2025, a human being crossed the line first. Look at the weather in those years. The years the humans win are the hot ones. We tell a story about ourselves in which we won because we were clever. The big brain, the sharp tool, the idea. But the brain is expensive and slow to grow, and long before it was impressive, something had to feed it. Somebody had to walk out into the worst heat of the day, when the lions were sleeping, and come back with meat. They did not do it with speed. They did not do it with strength. They did it by being the animal that could bleed water onto its own skin and keep moving after everything else had lain down. You are still carrying it. The naked skin, the spring in your heel, the millions of small openings that are, at this moment, quietly wetting the back of your neck for a chase that is never going to come. Your body has not been told that the hunt is over. It is still ready. It has been ready for 2 million years, waiting under your clothes, in a heated room, in a world that will never ask it to run. Your body is full of these equipment built for a world that no longer exists. Here is the next one. I will see you there.